Howdy my friends, and welcome back to more Let's Play Gran Turismo, the part where Sky Hurricane explains how he screwed everything up. Well, you may notice that I have actually done a few races that I hadn't done before. I actually recorded the next two parts, and I ended up losing my recording because it was still rendering, and I was very sleepy, and I ended up shutting down my computer, so it never finished rendering. So yeah, that's very stupid on my part, but anyway, you didn't really miss too much. Say I did races 2 and 3 on the Japan Nationals with my S2000. I believe I tuned it up a little bit for racing soft tires on it, because I don't think I did that before that recording. And then I did the UK. No, I already had that done. No, I did the UK race 2. Yeah, I did that one, which was the 345 horsepower one, and I tuned up my S2000 to like 286 horsepower. And then I did race 2 on the German. So I did 4 races here that y'all missed, but it wasn't really, trust me, it wasn't really that much to miss. I mean, if it was anything else, you know, I would feel bad, but then also the lightweight K-Cup, I did the 3rd race on that with the Honda Beat, which I think I put a racing clutch on, and I don't think I did a racing flywheel. I didn't really do anything else, but I still won it. Also, the licenses, I got all gold in the International B and the International A license, and completely lost all of that because of my stupidity. So, yay for Sky screwing everything up. But I promise you, we will go through all these. I'm not going to be getting golds again. Some of them I might, but I will go through every one of them, at least kind of show you what they're about and explain how much trouble I had on some of them. For the lightweight K-Cup race 3, I won the Mugen CRX2, and then I won two different cars for getting all golds in those 2 aforementioned licenses, which I will show you now. I will show you the licenses, and then we will show you the cars. And then notice how once you do International A, something opens up. Oh yes, the super license. And we'll be getting to that in the next part probably. As you see, I did get all golds here, and it really sucks that I lost all that. But it is what it is, and you know, mistakes happen, and it's not gonna be too horrible a thing. I mean, at least I don't think. I mean, whatever times I end up getting on these, you know, maybe they'll be relatively close. Anyway, they may not necessarily be golds. Some of them I had really a lot of trouble with. I noticed how on the license test, there are like 2 or 3 tests. Oh, I screwed up. 2 or 3 tests in every one of them that really will give you a ton of problem. And I ended up getting a silver on that, which sucks. But you see, my record was 27,064. So I had gotten a gold on it. And some reason that's a record. But Rally Techniques 2, Tahiti Dirt, Race 3. And yeah, there were like 2 or 3 in each test, in each set, that really gave me a lot of trouble. That took me like 45 minutes to an hour to do. And I'll be explaining, you know, each one as we come along into it. Fortunately, I don't think I had as much problems with any of these. Well, I got a gold there. It didn't do as good as my record, but a gold nonetheless. But I don't think I had as much trouble with any of IB or IA as I did with that that IC4 with the Camaro. I couldn't believe how much trouble that one gave me. Oh, y'all, it's just insane. But yeah, this one here, this is supposed to be oversteer, and believe it or not, despite this being a front, well, I failed. Despite this being a front-wheel drive car, this will kind of oversteer. Come on now, FTO. And I think I ended up choosing manual for this to get gold. Yeah, I slowed down too much. You really don't want to go down below 55 miles an hour, I don't think. End up losing a little too much speed there. Yeah, I think manual would be a lot better on that. I think that's how I ended up getting gold. And you can see my time there that I had gotten, which was considerably better than what I just did. What's really funny about this Nixon IB4, this is also called oversteer and with the NSX. But same thing as the last test, but I find this one oversteer is really not that much of a problem. Understeer seems to be more of a problem than oversteer. That's just me though, I guess, for my driving style. I mean, it does kind of oversteer a little bit there, but everywhere else, I mean. See, like right there, I'm definitely understeering. More of a problem than oversteer is, but anyway. We did get a silver, but we had gotten a gold. And this one wasn't too bad. Numbers 1 through 4 really weren't too bad in this round. Then you get number 5 with the Mustang, and this one wasn't too bad either, but it took me longer than the previous 4. But this one really wasn't too bad. Matter of fact, I remember on my first attempt, I ended up getting a 920, which was very close to the gold time, which I really sucked there. So I didn't do good on my first attempt this time around, but I'll do that again. Show you a little better what you're supposed to do, because that kind of sucked. But yeah, this one ended up taking me a lot more attempts than the previous 4. Despite me doing so well on my first attempt last time, I was actually shocked that I did so well on that first attempt. But see, that was a lot better. The way you take the first curve really determines how well you can take the second curve. And see, that was a pretty good time there. Pretty close. And then IB6 low speed slalom. Oh, I really dreaded these slaloms, y'all. But these really weren't as bad as I feared they would be. You want to come as close to the walls as you can. And one little trick that I figured out on this, which I didn't remember ever knowing, but okay, and I failed. It's probably more handy on the high-speed slalom, which we'll do later. But hitting the brakes and using the gas at the same time kind of helps keep the car stable. You don't want to do it like that, trust me. Golly, why am I sucking so bad? This is terrible. I did better on my first daggum attempt. And you can see my time, how I got much better than a gold too. Apparently that ain't gonna happen today, because Sky just sucks for some reason. I'm on Sky now. Let's just focus on making it. Oh my gosh, why am I sucking so bad at this? I think this one's harder than the high-speed slalom, even though, gosh, that was terrible, y'all. That is not how you want to do it. It'll help you pass, but yeah, I mean, you can hit the walls a little bit and still pass, but you don't want to hit the walls. It just might take you a few tries. Funny, I get a gold yesterday easily, but on this today I suck. This is how I thought I'd do yesterday when doing this. Oh my gosh, come on, you piece of crap. I mean, I guess I should just move on, but Jesus, you can't slow down to 18 miles an hour and make it. Yeah, we got a silver. I'm just gonna go with that. Just a little practice, and you know you can get good enough with it. You don't want to hit any walls. If you hit a wall, you're pretty much done for. But say I had a pretty good rhythm going, then I hit 4 there, which screwed me up. But IB7, this is the one right here, number 7, that I had the most trouble with, the Skyline GTR one. This one right here, you have to get just perfect, or you're not going to get it. And you actually kind of have to get a little bit off-road here. And I mean, not really off-road, but say I kind of lost stability of the car. And I went way too slow on that second corner. This is the one that took me, oh my golly, it took me 45 minutes to an hour. This was the one in this set that really took me a while. But I did eventually get it, as you can see from my time. And I was actually really shocked when I did manage to get it. I actually ended up pausing it a couple times before because I was going to reset it and try it again. And I was like, oh, heck, I might actually make it. I actually did pretty good that time. That's probably going to be a silver time. See, and even as good as I just did, that was not even really that close. I mean, it was kind of close, but oh, y'all, it took me so many attempts even to get it down below 900. It took me a lot of attempts to get it below 20 seconds, actually. That one was so annoying. The most annoying in this whole set. This one was actually harder to me than the slow speed slalom until I figured out this little trick about using the gas and the brakes at the same time to maintain the car stability without swerving as much. But I probably will suck at this today. Okay, yeah, I'm going to suck at this today. But you can see from my time there that I got considerably better than the gold time was. So it can be done. And then I start accelerating. But then hit the last wall. Whew. We can do it though. I almost had it that time. Almost had it. I think I was going a little bit too fast. But notice how I am maintaining my stability reasonably well without swerving too hard. Now, that probably is not a gold, but not a bad time. You can definitely take it a little bit faster than that. Just takes a little bit of practice. IB9. This one wasn't really too bad at all. Of course, it's on Red Rock Valley, one of my favorite tracks. And this one may take you a few times to get just right, though. You can actually take this little chicane here at full speed, full throttle. And then this curve here is the one you gotta kind of. You wanna exit it at full throttle and not hit the wall, which I hit the wall, so I'm gonna end up sucking. So you wanna do kind of like what I did there, but don't hit the wall. So we'll try it again. I started turning a little bit too early on that hairpin corner. Hello, Lewis Disturbed. Okay, and I think I went a little bit slow that time. I shouldn't have gone down to 74, but we might still get pretty close. Yeah, very close. But you see that my time there was very, very close to the actual go time. So I didn't shatter that record by any means. Okay, and then there's IB10, practical cornering number 8. Excuse me. I don't know why I gotta sneeze every time I record. Silly. But this one's gonna have the infamous corkscrew. And dealing with the corkscrew in a Viper is going to be fun, I gotta say. And I ended up braking way too late on that. You gotta brake a little bit earlier. You can notice the little side markers on the edge of the road there. They say like 4, 3, 2, 1. You'll actually want to start braking when you first see those. Like, see them right there? And I still ended up going too fast. Come on now, Sky. I'm doing considerably worse than I did yesterday. I'm glad I think I wore myself out yesterday getting all these golds. I really do. Because I did like a marathon session yesterday. I did the IC, I did the IB, and then I did the IA. I don't know if I did the A. Yeah, I think I did the A too before I did the IC. I did them all pretty much. Did a bulk recording session. I really slowed down way too much on that last gentle curve, but still not a bad time. You can see my record there. Okay, and then that was the International B license. So now for the International A license, which actually I did better with the International A than I did the International B or C. A ended up going a lot quicker for me. C and B ended up taking me over 2 hours, but A ended up taking me like 1 hour and 20 minutes, so did quite a bit better. And this one I ended up getting the gold on the first attempt. I remember this. Now, however, how I will do today, well, there's no telling. This is pretty much like the test we did in B, I think B4, when you had the little circle track and you had to go around it. Well, it's more like B5 when you had the Impreza. The only thing is, this is just like the Impreza one, except this Viper will oversteer a little bit, and the Impreza really wouldn't. But what I suggest doing is keep it around 70 miles an hour. And if the Viper does start to kind of oversteer a little bit, then just kind of let off the gas and ease on the throttle. And I actually did a lot better than my original time. I remember I was actually real surprised that I got a gold my first time, because I ended up kind of going outwards because I didn't know the speed that you should take that. But take it around 70 miles an hour and you should be fine. Don't try to go above 70 though, or 72. It's real funny. In this game, the Viper controls a lot differently than in the last game. In Gran Turismo 1, the Viper would kind of oversteer, but it was really manageable. In this game, the Viper oversteers quite eagerly, I gotta say. More like a lot of other front-engine rear-wheel drive cars. And this test can be kind of challenging, because the car will kind of control pretty roughly. It takes that first curve pretty nicely, but when it comes to that last sharp corner, and it's kind of blind because you're going uphill, you really have to slow down quite well, and I'll actually show you here. This first corner is pretty easy because you got the downforce from going downhill, but this corner here, you got to slow down quite a lot in order to be able to make that, and you got to be turning into it at the same time, while also not oversteering, which because you're going uphill, I don't really find oversteer to be too much of a problem, unlike with the corkscrew and the Viper. So we have Apricot Hill and the NSX. This one was one that took me quite a few attempts, which I was actually kind of surprised at, and I ended up using manual shift, I believe. But since I'm kind of doing this casually, I'm just going to use automatic here. But yeah, you want to take this curve about 70 miles an hour and not really go below 70. I did a terrible job there. And also that one there. On all these curves here, you don't really want to hit the brakes. You want to just kind of ease off the throttle a little, and not get off the road like I did there. But really, we didn't get too bad of a time for a first attempt, today. But you can see my record. I did end up getting it. I found it a little bit easier with manual, because I could get a little bit more. I could take that first corner easier. That first sharp corner that I said you should take at 70 miles an hour. I found that easier with manual. Alrighty. Our next rally one. And this one I found to be really easy. This is another one where they just kind of give it to you, which is nice of them, because you have some that's struggling on other ones. At least if you're me, you do. Wasn't too bad. I only hit one wall. And I actually almost got the same time I did last time. And I believe I got that on my first attempt last time as well. But yeah, they're pretty nice to you on the rally ones. Now, there's one rally one coming up that actually is kind of hard, which is this one, IA5, with the Escudo, the best rally car in the game. Matter of fact, probably the best car in the game. Depending on your driving style, I mean, I say even not depending on your driving style, this probably is the best, because it controls so easily and has such high potential. But yeah, this is just one that you'll have to practice a couple times in order to get used to this car, you know. Because it's such a beast. And I did not do very good. This one took me like 5 attempts, I think, to get a gold on it. But I eventually did get it. That's just one that's going to take you a little practice. As all of these will, most of them anyway. IA6 downhill techniques. This time we have a front-wheel drive rally car, which should understeer. But this one I also found pretty easy. We got this car here. Actually take that first curve at full throttle. You gotta kind of be careful though. You have a lot of sharp corners on these rally courses. They actually give you a lot of time on this one too. Compared to the Escudo though, this thing is very easy to control. Which is not even really a rally car, it's just a normal car with racing modification. And you can take that at full throttle. That last little curve there. And we got to go quite easily. So another give me. So there are like 2 or 3 of them in this IA set, that IA number 6, 4, and 1 that to me were just real easy. But they get real now. Now we're in the Alpha 155 on the Rome circuit. Of course, they would have to use an Italian car for the Italian circuit. Man, Gran Turismo must really love Rome, I tell you. Polyphony must really love Rome. As I'm telling you, they had 2 Rome tracks in this game, and then they ended up having a new Rome track in Gran Turismo 6. I think I did really well there, but yeah, very close to a gold. That was actually probably my second best attempt. That was probably actually a record. And I ended up doing this with many attempts, y'all. And I think I ended up getting it with manual transmission, even though you could get it with automatic. You saw I got very close there. Yeah, see, that was my second best time ever. And that was my first attempt here, so. But then you got IA8 back on midfield, this time in a Jaguar XJ220. We're not in the little Toyota Celica or Honda S2000. We're getting it real now. Getting real. But this one I actually really did not have any problem with. I got it after just a few attempts, I think less than 5 attempts. Actually, it might have been only on like the second attempt. I can't remember. But of course, I failed there. You know, got to. But I actually got it with a lot of time to spare. It seemed like I took that chicane at full throttle, and then on the hairpin, I ended up doing a lot better than I just did. It goes without saying. Oh, I love this car. kind of afraid to take it at full throttle there. But I think we did well there. And got a gold. So that's another pretty easy one to me. But it may just be because I've done this track a million times in my life. Yeah, I didn't really find that one too hard. So yeah, that's kind of why I zoomed through IA. I mean, there were only a few of them that I had. There weren't any that were particularly notable, that were extremely hard like there were in the past 3 license tests. So yeah, that one wasn't too bad. And there's 9 and 10. And 9 and 10 didn't really give me much problem either. Alrighty, so IA9, and this time we've done the same exact thing with the Viper, so this really isn't anything different, but this time we just got a much more powerful car. But I actually find this one to be, well, this one has really good downforce, but it will oversteer, especially at such low speeds that you have to get down to in order to take that corkscrew. But it actually did nicely there. I slowed down too much on that curve though. Seems like the easy curve's the one that gets me. But we did pretty good. We got closer to a gold than a silver. So I don't think it's too bad. And that one didn't really take me too long. And then IA10. This is with the Toyota GT1 here on the same exact track that we did with the Griffith earlier. So if you didn't have much trouble with the Griffith, you probably won't have much trouble with this one. And then on the same token, if you had a lot of trouble with the Griffith, then you probably will have a lot of trouble with this one. Despite this one has such good downforce, it really understeers quite heavily on that sharp corner at the end. Probably because you're going uphill. It really understeers significantly. But I didn't find it really too difficult either. The line I took was a pretty good line. I could have taken that first curve a little faster though, that gentle curve. And then you could see my record. Yeah, you could tell that, see, I didn't do that one very many times before I got a gold. You can kind of tell by my records. This one I did a few more times. And I believe that's probably number 7 was the one that, this one that with the Alpha 155 was probably the one that gave me the most trouble. Even though when I just did it earlier, I got extremely close. I got a 313. But yeah, none of these really were too bad. And the NSX one, this one took me a while. So yeah, 3 and 7 were the ones that took me the most on the IA license. But none of them were too horrible. So now to show you what you get if you get all golds in the IA or the IB license, and then also the IA license, you get some pretty nice rewards. So for the International B, you get the Del Sol Limited Edition, which is really nice, and it actually has more horsepower than in the first game. It's mid-engine rear-wheel drive, just like in the first game. It only had like 545 horsepower in the first one. So I don't know. I hadn't won it too many times, and this is the only place that this is the only way you can get the Del Sol or the FTO. The 3000 GT, which we won from the IC license, you can actually win that from an endurance race, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the Grand Valley one. But also you win the FTO LM edition for the IA license, all gold. So, which is pretty nice, and something that was different on one of these. That's 4-wheel drive. Yeah, the concept car, which we won for the A license. I noticed something. This is mid-engine rear-wheel drive, not front-engine rear-wheel drive, like it is in the first game, which I thought was kind of weird. But y'all, we're going to go ahead and stop right here. In the next part, we'll probably do the S license. We might do a race or two before that. So I hope to see you there. This is Sky Hurricane 89 signing out. Goodbye, y'all. And as always, stay awesome.